Hey friends, so we're out here today at London's ExCeL. We've been here before, actually. We came out to Star Wars Celebration, so this is a little bit of a walk down memory lane for us. It's definitely interesting. This is a little bit different. This is purely Disney. That was purely Star Wars. But the Disney100 Celebration is a walk through the history of the Walt Disney Company. So this will be really cool. We're hoping to see artifacts and all these props and everything like that, maybe some parks related things from the history of the Walt Disney Company. It's going to be an interesting time. I just want to see some really old stuff, you know, like I'm a history aficionado from the Walt Disney Company. I love that kind of stuff, so I'm very, very excited to see it all. We're going to go inside. We've got a ticket for 11 o'clock. You book your time slot. Parking, you can park here on site. I believe it's $17.50 for a car. So tickets for us were £33 per adult. It will be a little bit less for children, but it says it's going to take around about an hour. I'd imagine it's going to take us a little bit longer because we're going to try and read some of the information and just soak it all in. There's going to be a lot of Disney fans there, and we're in England, so you don't really Disneyfy a lot in England. We've got people with ears walking around, we've got people in spirit jerseys. You just do not see that here. It's going to be a lot of fun. The exhibit is touring, so I believe it's been over in the US, doing a couple of things over there. In, I think, Philadelphia it started. It's going to be in Chicago at some point. It's been in Europe, I believe, or it's going to Europe, and it's in London for the next few months. So there's a lot going on. So if you guys do enjoy the video throughout, give us a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot. It'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. Let's head on inside. So here we are at the entrance to the ExCeL London. We're going to go inside. They've got a few things happening today.
10:30 tickets for now only. 10:30 tickets for now only, please.
Timed tickets, as you can see. There's no toilets inside, we've been told, but you can use toilets inside the main area before you go in here. So we are heading in to the Disney100 Exhibition. Lockers available, and we are just queuing for a green screen picture over here. So we had our picture taken, and then we found this as well. How did you do finding all the icons? So we've got to, are you ready for a quest? I think this is like a little kid's quest thing. We've got a pencil, this, both going to do them, I think.
Honored to welcome you to Disney100 The Exhibition. This very special exhibition will travel the world for 5 years in 2 units, one in North America and one in international locations. Both units feature hundreds of iconic Disney artifacts from throughout its history, including props, costumes, models, attraction vehicles, and artwork, as well as our original immersive activities that are sure to please visitors of all ages.
A man from the American Midwest, along with his older brother Roy. That young man was Walt Disney, a master storyteller whose imagination knew no bounds and who delighted in making the impossible possible. Disney100 The Exhibition is a journey through 100 years of Disney magic, presented in themed galleries based on Walt Disney's creative concepts and philosophies. These include storytelling, creating believable characters, the spirit of adventure and discovery, the magic of sound and music, the world around us, real and imagined. Curiosity, imagination, and technological innovation, the worldwide wonder of the Disney parks, and an everlasting sense of optimism about the future. Walt Disney famously said that it was all started by a mouse, but it really was all started by Walt himself. His philosophies became the foundation of the Walt Disney Company. They still inspire Disney's artists, filmmakers, Imagineers, and the storytellers of today.
Oh boy! Oh, steady! Whoa! Hi, Mouseketeers! Well, here we go again, so hang on! Anything Mouse. You ready? Then let the show begin. Here's my pal Walt to tell you how the magic is made.
There's a lot of satisfaction in developing ideas into reality. When we consider a new project, we really study it. Not just the surface idea, but everything about it. And when we go into that new project, we believe in it all the way. We have confidence in our ability to do it right, and we work hard to do the best possible job. There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors, doing new things, because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. We're always exploring and experimenting.
Everybody ready? Then on with the show!
So we start with Walt's early years. We're talking about how Walter Elias Disney was born in 1901 in Chicago, Illinois. And we've got some old family pictures here. Walt at 10 months old, Elias and Flora Disney. The signing of the contract by Walt Disney on October 16th, 1923. So that is the contract that originally started the Walt Disney Company. October 16th. We're filming this on October 14th. The video will release on October 16th, the exact 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. So we're talking about before the Walt Disney Company in these parts. Laugh-O-Grams. Laugh-O-Gram films. This was what the Disney Company was before it was the Disney Company and it failed. This is a stock certificate from Laugh-O-Gram films. It's got the tightrope walker. From the office of Walt Disney. So here we've got a reproduction of the original Alice Gets Stung. Alice gets in Dutch, and then we start talking about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So we've got Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So this was the original. This was before Mickey Mouse. Turns out Universal actually owned the rights to it. Disney bought the rights back in 2006. So here we've got a drawing, poster concept art for Sleigh Bells from 1928. So 95 years old that is. And then we've got an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit stencil set, also from 1928. That's a reproduction though. Note at the top, it says Universal presents Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Universal, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit of the movies. So we've got a story sketch page, Tall Timber from 1928, and we've got a clean-up animation, Skyscrapers from 1928. This is a reproduction of the original, the bottom one is, and that is an original, it looks like. And we're talking about the telegram, basically. We've got a lot of reproductions rather than originals, but this is the telegram saying that we're leaving tonight, stopping over. Basically, I don't want to work for Universal, I want to go back to LA and start something different. That's him and Lily. Let's talk about the original Steamboat Willie, the first Disney cartoon, I'd say. Story script page. Like clean-up animation, reproduction.
Earliest known drawing of Mickey.
Yeah. Look at him. Yeah. Earliest known drawing, but this is a reproduction of it. And then we're showing some of the Mickey shorts, like you just saw. Mickey and his pals. So Mickey's pals, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, Goofy, Donald Duck, and Daisy Duck, and it tells you when they were introduced. So Minnie Mouse was there quite early on, it looks like. Pluto 1930, Goofy 32, Donald Duck was 34, and Daisy debuted in 1937. So here we're talking about the Silly Symphony series. The first one being the Skeleton Dance, I believe, which debuted in August 1929. You've got Flower on the Trees here. And this is the Skeleton Dance one. So that, again, this is a reproduction of a drawing. So it basically enabled the artist to draw and visualize it whilst synchronizing it with music as well, which is some of the first offerings of musical cartoons. You do also have these little interactive booths which have got little speakers on chains that you can listen to, and it'll play you some of the shorts. And then we're talking about how we move into colour, and then we also move into the multi-plane camera. Now this was essentially how they add depth to an animation. They will draw all of the individual layers of a scene and then they'll film it from above. So each one goes through every year basically what happened. So right in the middle here, this is the one that Walt sadly died. And then it talks about the 70s when Disney World opened, first film without him, and things like that. Where do stories come from? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So we're starting here with the first animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We got an original animation here, an animation drawing. And then we move around, we've got another one. The detail actually is really incredible on some of these. Coloured pencil and graphite on paper. We go around, we've got another one. These are all originals as well, thankfully. So this is a costume that somebody would have worn so they can get an idea of how to animate certain things, how to get the wrinkles in the fabric and things like that when they're drawing it. It's very cool. Original 1937, worn by Marge Champion. So we've got the original book here from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at the start of the film as they open it up and go into the film. This is a Dutch version of it. I'd imagine the English version is on display over in the US exhibit. But it's good that we've got an original version at least. So next up we've got Pinocchio. So we've got some original drawings here from the film, from the animation of the film at least. So this is the character development ideas for Pinocchio as they go through various iterations. Once again, original. Really good. I'm really happy for that. So far we've not had any reproductions in this room.
There's probably loads of these though, isn't there? If you think about how many times they needed to do that.
Yeah. Prop storybook from Cinderella. Wow. Oh, that's stunning. 73 years old, this book. So this is a reference clock. So this is what they would have used to get an idea of what it would have been like to animate. So here we've got the Cinderella book, or the Sleeping Beauty book, sorry. So if we turn the page, so I'm turning the page here and turning it on the screen. Visual development of Aurora and a story sketch of Maleficent as well. And then we move on to Cinderella, which is one of the more popular Disney films from that era. Early story development sketches. And then we've got a visual development as she pulls up to the castle, and this one is drawn by Mary Blair. So we got the glass slipper. This is taken from the 2015 film. And here you can be bibbidi bobbidi bood. Alice in Wonderland. So the paragraph here at the top is basically Walt saying how much he loved the Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland story and acquired the rights to it in order to make a film. And here we've got visual development of the Alice in Wonderland film with the Mad Hatter, the rabbit, and Alice herself. We go along and we've got some more visual developments of the Cheshire Cat and the playing cards chasing Alice away, drawn by Mary Blair, the bottom one. Mary Poppins, 1964. After a long concentration on live action and cartoon films, we decided to try something that would employ every trick that we had learned from making films. That's why they combined cartoon and live action into this enormous fantasy, Mary Poppins. Visual development here, hand-drawn with crayon, graphite and pastel. And then we've got another visual development drawing by Peter Ellenshaw, Oil on Board. And then we've got some...
a book that P.L. Travers has signed to Disney.
Oh, that's cool. And if you want to learn about that story, you can watch Saving Mrs. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks. There we go. Sorry, I always get that part confused. And that's on probably Disney Plus. So you can be able to watch it. You've got a script from Mary Poppins. You've got a ticket to the premiere. You've got a premiere invitation, and you've got a premiere program there as well. So here we've got an original horse from the carousel in Mary Poppins. This one was used by Dick Van Dyke, apparently. Very, very cool. We've got a small exhibition here in the middle. We're going through some of the stories from throughout the years. And we've got books that were developed into films, right? That's what I believe it is. Books and comics and magazines and things.
I was going to say, I think these look like the same as over there, but I don't think they quite are. Because that would be better if you, rather than standing like read them on here.
So here we got Big Hero 6, which is a Marvel one. You've got The Rescuers, you've got Mary Poppins, Princess Diaries, 20,000 Leagues. You've got Aesop's Illustrated Fables. And as we go around, we've got some more as well. So
Princess Diaries?
Princess Diaries. Princess, look out the window and welcome to Zenobia. So just be prepared when you come, because it is really queuing everywhere. Look at this guy. I know the feeling. He's asleep. Talk about Winnie the Pooh and how Walt Disney began pursuing the rights in 1938, finally releasing a film on Winnie the Pooh in 1966. Got an animation cell and background, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree from 1966. So this is kind of one of those multi-plane camera things. So you've got layers you can see. Winnie the Pooh live action reference stand-in. They couldn't put the actual bear on. They couldn't put the bear on display. He was too tired, too caught up eating honey. Beauty and the Beast is the next one. Critics alike called it the best Broadway musical of 1991. So it was a Broadway musical film. People feel good. Visual development sketch of the Beast. Primarily just made up of lines. If you stand really close, it doesn't look quite like Beast. You stand back, it looks better. And then we've got Lumiere and Cogsworth. These are the production models from the 2017 live action film. So we've got The Princess and the Frog. The early visual development done for a never-produced animated feature based on the Brothers Grimm Frog Prince, with additional inspiration from the Frog Princess. Princess and the Frog marked a return to sincere, classic hand-drawn animation with a modern twist. Frozen. Disney story team first studied Hans Christian Andersen's tale The Snow Queen in 1930s, one of Andersen's longest tales as well. They saw a renewed interest in these stories in the early 2000s. And then we move on to Tangled. Legendary Disney storyman Joe Grant remembered that in the late 30s, the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Rapunzel was explored as a possible follow-up to Snow White. 60 years later, in the mid-90s, they began re-exploring the story. Get my shadow out of the way. Colours make the characters, so the film's designers carefully developed the colours. And so which of these ones, you know, you turn them over, and the colours are making the character.
Your face.
Judy Hobbs!
Judy.
We're not going to show you more, we don't want to spoil it. The illusion of life. Ooh, we can see how tall we are compared to the Incredibles characters. Let's have a look how tall I am then. Not very.
About the same as Jack.
No.
He's about 3 heads taller than you, Mr. Incredible.
So I'm the same as Elastigirl, roughly. She's still taller than me. Why you do, Elastigirl? So here we've got the original models. These are what would be used for reference for drawing and animation. Pete's Dragon, Mrs. Incredible, Judge Doom, Timothy Mouse, Jiminy Cricket, Lightning McQueen, Jafar, Pocahontas, Miss Bianca, Daisy Duck, Remy, Moana, Maui, Mr. Thomas, Hugo, Hercules, Russell, Captain Hook, Maylin Lee, Elsa, Anna, Woody, Mulan, and you've got Beast up there as well, and you've also got Pluto just up on the top. Dion magazine cover with Cruella de Vil. You've got the license plate there, de Vil, and then you've got the design portfolio that Anita put together. 101 Dalmatians. We've got original story sketches here and storyboard thumbnails, sorry. Ooh, animation cell from 101 Dalmatians. So you can see how it would have been drawn. So we've got Glenn Close as Cruella de Vil, and you've got reproduction costume sketches by designer Anthony Powell. And then we've got a dress worn by Emma Stone in the new Cruella film, or newish Cruella film. It's got an interactive kind of board here. Oh, those ones don't work, that's why they're blocked off. So, Mirabelle.
Her family's amazing. Let's see who's in her family.
Oh, did you know? Story and character design as well.
Did you know?
Since Mirabelle did not receive a magical gift like her siblings and cousins, and thus a magical room when she turned 5, she remained in the nursery. She has made the room wondrous. Now we're talking about one of the most popular modern characters in any Disney animation film, and that is Olaf from Frozen. So they're talking about how a lot of animation main characters have sidekicks, and Olaf is a sidekick. We've got visual development here of Olaf, and then we've got another one there. Reproduction of original, so this is a reproduction ink on paper. And then we've got a video of here which we can listen to Josh Gad recording his lines for Olaf. We've got an Olaf puppet from California Adventure, and this was frozen live at the Hyperion. So I think they use a very similar kind of model for him on Broadway or in the West End in the Frozen show. But this was in California Adventure from 2016 to 2020.
That's how it moves.
Ooh. Ariel and the Little Mermaid. So we've got a story sketch, reproduction of original coloured pencil, pastel and graphite on paper, and then we've got production notes. Head should clearly show topside and planes. Ariel's face should be petite and delicate, keep mouth relatively small. That's interesting. And then we've got rough animation, a reproduction of the original again. New stories of Ariel. Audiences are eager for more stories. So here we've got props from the live-action Little Mermaid. You've got the spyglass used by Halle Bailey, and you've got the dingle hopper, which is a fork used by Halle Bailey as well. The Wonderful World of Disney presents The Little Mermaid live, and then we've got the costume from that. The spirit of adventure and discovery. Oh. Should we go to the right first? And then maybe we've got a costume here that could have been worn by Dwayne Johnson.
Nope.
And I think it is. Designed by Paco Delgado and worn by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Whoa, he's so chunky.
Yes, for the Jungle Cruise film. So here we're talking about the Jungle Cruise. Obviously you've seen The Rock's costume there. Cambodian temple ruins. This is like a model of what would have been created at Disneyland Resort, Disneyland Park. We've got a concept art drawn by Mark Davis here for the Jungle Cruise, and you see the elephant bathing pool there. You go around, and then just around here is the backside of water. And then you've got another one, and this is the thing that we just saw a second ago, the model. So reproduction of original though, unfortunately.
2007.
So we've got an interactive thing here where we spell out the code, line up everything, line up the three symbols of the same symbol, and then it will light up part of this. And we've got the inscribed wooden plank here, used by Nicolas Cage in the film. You find this in the Resolute desk. So we do have all these questions located around. These are the questions for the like interactive thing that we saw, that we picked up at the start. So what object is contained inside the bottle? We'll give you this answer, we haven't been giving you an all. That is a ship, and then you tick off a ship on your thing. Pirates of the Caribbean, Elizabeth Swan's costume. So this would have been worn by Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And then we move along, we've got a prop ship in a bottle from Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. So this is talking about all kind of nautical themed films. We've got Moana here as well. Visual development.
Oh, sorry, make way.
Make way. We've got a couple of them there. It's actually like a lot more like petite and skinny there. And then Maui's just a hunky chunky monkey. Lilo and Stitch. Flying high on the Hawaiian roller coaster ride. So you've got a reproduction of original watercolor and colored pencil on paper, and then you've got a visual development one, which is another reproduction of original. Goosh on board. I don't know what that means. Peter Pan. Walt Disney loved hearing after dinner stories and fairy tales. Next to Snow White, the character that Walt Disney cared the most for was Peter Pan. So we've got an animation cell here from Peter Pan, 1953. We've got a story sketch again, and then we've got a hook from Peter Pan and Wendy used by Jude Law, and a necklace used by Eva Anderson. They've got the Nautilus eye here. And there's a little kid that's just like flipping the switch back and forward all the time. And it's a different one each time it opens, which is quite cool. What we got? Bed knobs and broomsticks, yeah. We've got a model of the Hyperion here from the island at the top of the world. And this is a ship that has been recreated in Disneyland Paris in Discoveryland, Hyperion Cafe. And then we move on to Star Wars. And we've got the dice that hang in the Millennium Falcon, used by Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. We've got the Org puppet. And then you've got a BB-8 puppet. And this was used in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Ancient Jedi text. In The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker's final student Rey discovers his collection of ancient Jedi texts. So this is the text that were used by Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. And then here you've got Luke's lightsaber. This is used by Mark Hamill. We've also got a First Order Stormtrooper costume here, which was designed by Michael Kaplan and Glyn Dillon. Very similar to the original ones, just slightly rounded in design. So next we've got Marvel, and we've got the Black Widow costume here, worn by Scarlett Johansson. And then we've got a bunch of costumes here, or helmets even. Thor, Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, Iron Man, Captain America, and Ant-Man. Captain America shield from Avengers Endgame. And then we got the Shang-Chi costume from Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The magic of sound and music. So we're getting into what music means to the films. So talk about Enchanted, and here we've got some props and costumes from Enchanted. So this was worn by Amy Adams. Then you'll have the Poison Caramel Apple, which was used by Timothy Spall and Amy Adams, and a bag of premium bird seed. Ooh. What symbol is embroidered on Giselle's dress? A Boyd. It's a flower! So here we're going through the different languages that songs are sung in as part of the films, and how that's recorded by different artists as opposed to the standard people that would be doing it. So you've got Let It Go on this one, you've got How Far I'll Go from Moana there, you've got headphones on each, and then this one is We Don't Talk About Bruno, and you can actually change the language by pressing the button. So this kid is pressing it and it's changing everyone's language. The first animated musical, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So we're talking about these, and we've got the sheet music from those. So you've got some more clean-up animation, reproduction of original Three Little Pigs. Then we've got Pinocchio, we've got the Three Caballeros, we've got Cinderella. So we just had a picture of Mickey, and now we've got a bass drum here from the Mickey Mouse Club, 1955 to 1959. So that drum is really, really old. So next we're finding out how sounds are added to films. So the chimes here are sound effects for Tinkerbell. You've got a leather wallet here, which is the sound effect for the Seven Dwarfs leather shoes as they're squeaking on the floor. Here you've got the whistle from Steamboat Willie. Here we've got a costume from the Broadway musical Lion King. Look at the detail in the mask. It's just insane. And the costume as a whole, actually, is insanely detailed. So here we can listen to little clips from all different songs, English and Hawaiian. You can listen to it. Oh, it's in English and Hawaiian, that's why. Yeah, that makes sense. Perry the Platypus!
My fave!
Ooh. So yeah, you just pick what you want and listen to little clips of it. Just go, ooh, in a different language as well. Music in the parks. So we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. This is the lead sheet of the song. Story and song from the Haunted Mansion, Grim Green Ghosts. Ooh, a record album. Walt Disney Takes You to Disneyland, and Walt Disney Presents It's a Small World. So the world around us is next. The beauty and diversity of our planet and its inhabitants are not only sources of storytelling and inspiration, they represent our global home. So public service announcements by Walt Disney. So he would have gone on and done some of these public service announcements, talking about National Wildlife Week. I believe the Walt Disney Company contributed to the World War II effort as well, in like entertaining, propaganda, things like that. So it's quite interesting. Prairie dogs. True Life Adventures. And then Disney Nature. Building on the legacy of True Life Adventures, Disney Nature banner was founded in 2008. And actually now they own National Geographic as well, so they've got tons of actual like nature ability to do these documentaries and things like that. So we've actually got an Oscar over here, an Academy Award of Merit statue. Oh, okay, so is it an Oscar then? For The Living Desert in 1953. Nature in animation as well. We've got Bambi, visual development from 1942. Another Bambi one from 1942, visual development. And then, yeah, another story sketch. So we're coming on to Pocahontas now. So for Colour Key for Pocahontas from 1995, this is a reproduction. We've got another Colour Key down there. And then Raya and the Last Dragon, or Raya and the Last Dragon, visual development. So both of those are visual developments. Nature in park design. When Walt imagined Disneyland, he envisioned a place where guests would physically step into stories. Everything needed to feel real, whether in land of fantasy, America's long ago frontier, or somewhere in the future. The sights and sounds, the smells, the very texture of the ground you walk on contribute to this reality. So here we've got pictures of Matterhorn, concept art for Matterhorn. We've got concept art for Frontierland in Disneyland Paris. And then we've got Radiator Springs from California Adventure. We've also got the Tree of Life here as well. And then design in Disney's Animal Kingdom, the magic of nature. And we go into a little bit of detail. We've got Joe Rohde talking. This guy is like God. And then we've got concept art for Na'vi River Journey and Pandora, the world of Avatar as a whole. Next up, we've got Interventions. Imagineer and legend Marty Sklar often said that Walt Disney had one foot in the past because he loved the nostalgia, and one foot in the future because he loved the technologies that enabled him to constantly create new magic. So here we've got Disney's multi-plane camera. This is what we were discussing earlier on in the video. And how they create depth by having loads of layers in the... It's quite cool. The art of storyboarding. Okay, storyboard panels in the bag. Watercolor on paper. then we've got some storyboard panels from Enchanted. Audio animatronic. So we're talking about in Paris in 1949, Walt was entranced by vintage wind-up mechanical toys and began thinking of how these could be implemented into the parks. So we've got the infamous thing of him talking to the birds from the Enchanted Tiki Room. We've just got clips all around from the parks. Pneumatic head. And then we've got electric control board. Hall of Presidents. Oh, the hand is from the Hall of Presidents. Oh, we can turn it here as well. Oh, interesting. So we're changing his thumb and little finger. And then we've got a face from Pirates of the Caribbean and Magic Kingdom. It's got an original concept drawing from Disneyland here by Herb Ryman. So you can see like interesting details on it. Like how the castle is surrounded by the wall and then the castle is more like just straight up rather than having like loads of turrets like Sleeping Beauty Castle does. Main Street, it's got like little parts coming off of it. Very cool. You've got the Disneyland Railroad, 20,000 Leagues. You've got Tron Light Cycle Power Run, Soaring over California, Tomorrowland, again by Herb Ryman, 1965 though, Monorail. So here we've got the original Pixar computer. This is what would have been used to develop Toy Story back in the day. And the little Luxor short. Really, really cool.
During the production of Snow White.
Your Disney World. So we're taking a trip into the parks now. And we've got posters from the early planning of the parks. Santa Fe and Disneyland Railroad. You've got Peter Pan. So this is talking you through the parks. So we've got Disneyland Paris, Tokyo on the cards, Walt Disney World, California, Disneyland in California, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. Been there, done that. Hey, if you want to go and check out our Hong Kong playlist, hit link up in the top corner.
Been there, done that, got the Duffy.
Got the Duffy, yeah. Right, learn more about Hong Kong. It's the 11th Disney theme park in the world. First ever built in China. Adventureland. Fantasyland. Grizzly Gulch. Main Street. Mystic Point. Tomorrowland. Toy Story Land. And that's it at the moment. The World of Frozen's coming soon. Here we've got a draft of the entrance plaque text. Here you leave today and visit the world of fantasy yesterday, tomorrow. So they changed it a few times, crossed it out, sorted it. Oh, we got Tink going around. It's all recreated, like Main Street as well, by the way, which is cool. So you got a Disneyland guidebook from 1955. You got an employee badge from Disneyland Park. You've got an admission coupon book from 1960. So it used to be like you'd have A, B, C, D, and E. E being the top tier ride, so E-ticket ride. That's where it comes from. Invitational press preview for July 17th, 1955, 2:30 p.m. And then you've got concept rendering of Disneyland Park. It changes between night and day.
Your
attention, please. Santa Fe and Disneyland passenger train, E.P. Ripley, now loading on track number 1.
So here you've got an audio animatronic figure, Jiminy Cricket from Spectro Magic. We never got to see Spectro Magic, unfortunately. You got Tinkerbell lamppost adornment. Oh, there you go. It's just changed today. So Oscar, Country Bear audio animatronic figure. And an automobile miniature from an adventure through inner space. Next up we've got an audio animatronic figure from It's a Small World at the Magic Kingdom Park. And then we've got a Minnie Mouse dress. This is Minnie Mouse's costume from Walt Disney World Resort. So it's changing between night and day. So here, this is actually the Castle of Magical Dreams. I was wrong. I thought it was Shanghai. I should know it because we've seen the Castle of Magical Dreams and it looks fantastic.
That looks much nicer than the Shanghai one. The Shanghai one's like stumpy.
It's too stumpy, yeah. So this is like a model of it. And then we're going through talking about Paris. And we're talking about Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And that's what it should have been, a city, a community. So we've got a ship here, Peter Pan's flight ship from Disneyland Park, attraction vehicle from Disneyland Park in California. A little bit beaten, broken down. That's how they open it anyway. That's how they open the bar if it doesn't open on its own. And then we've got a ride vehicle from Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, also from Disneyland Park in California. This one is called Toady. I think they're all called Toady. I might be.
It's weird, that doesn't look like a proper attraction vehicle, whereas that's got the bar and everything. That one.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it? Look at this hand-sewn, home-sewn Mickey Mouse doll. It looks actually like really creepy. You've got a watch, Mickey Mouse wristwatch, 1933, earliest known product, Mickey Mouse's writing tablet, children's writing tablet, Three Little Pigs toothbrush holder, and the doll pattern. So you get the pattern and then you make it yourself. You got Zorro, and you got the Sword in the Stone prop storybook. Oh, you got the magical bed knob from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. You got the storybook. You got a back scratcher, a lunchbox, and a Disney World hat as well. As we move through, we've got double-ended hammer from Home Improvement, Tim and Al. You've got Binford Powerlock tape measure, screwdrivers from Home Improvement. You've got the Rocketeer helmet as well. And then the 2000s. Ooh, from Lost, the Dharma Initiative, rice, breakfast O's, and water from Lost. And then the East High School yearbook, as well as a basketball, used by Zac Efron. Says we're just getting started. Little clips from films, TV shows. Take a picture with the partner's statue. I'll say a word of thanks to everybody that helped make this dream come true, and then we've got the credits rolling, which is pretty cool. We can get some photos, we can do some drawings, and then we scan our photo pass. So, oh, it's Mirabelle. Isabel. Okay, so we can be in front of the Main Street Rail Station, you can be in Magic Kingdom. Okay, interesting. Then you have to pay for them. But they're not very good photos though. So now into the shop. This is where they get ya. Disney Mickey Mouse, Platinum, Dark and Grey, 300 each. Oh, you got Oswald as well. Oh, okay. Don't know how much Oswald is then. Say, Oswald, they're sort of different. You got t-shirts. T-shirts are unpriced. There's not a price on them. Loads of puzzles, mugs, all those kinds of things. You've got loads of jackets. Oh, the t-shirts are 30. Where were they before then? That was on there. That jumper's 45. The hoodies are 60. Up to 3XL. And you got Mickey on the back as well. And then you've got a little book there. You've got a slightly different t-shirt, which is this one. Got more t-shirts here. Again, all £30. Teddies, plushes, mugs. Some of these are good with the castle on, and Mickey on the front. Pink or a blue one, which is really cool. And then we start moving into the actual properties as well. So you got some of the animations from Star Wars, Marvel, all those kinds of things. For £35, you also have a program of pretty much everything that's shown to us in the exhibition here. All the props that are available, hence why we've got reproductions, because I'm imagining there's a lot of replicas between the two exhibits, one over in the US, one travelling around Europe.
It's quite detailed. It's like everything we've seen, but like in a lot more detail.
Yeah. So we've just come out of the show. It's 2 o'clock. And well, we're queuing all the way down there now. Alright, so that is the end of our time here at the Disney100 exhibit at London's XL. And it's a bit of an interesting one. We enjoyed it a lot. Loved taking a walk through Walt Disney Company's history and some of the props and, you know, the animation cells, the early concept drawings and things like that. It's just absolutely fantastic. So I think it was worth the money. One thing I would say, you saw the queue there right at the end. If you can get here early and you've got a ticket for early, you're fine. If you've got a ticket for now, a little bit tricky. It's a long one. They recommend an hour, but you spend the first 30 minutes of your time in like that first corridor anyway, because it's so crowded and so many people in there at once that it just doesn't flow very well and everybody's trying to read everything. So it does make it a little bit of a tricky one just to actually get through the exhibit at the start, and then it does open up a bit more. So I think people are like, we've got our money's worth, we'll move on, we'll just glance at things as opposed to read everything, whereas we were trying to read everything and we were in there for about 3 hours. So you can definitely make your money's worth if you do want to. So we're quite happy with that. The merchandise at the end, we were a little bit disappointed in. There wasn't anything really that we really wanted. You know, we were hoping for like a magnet or a keyring or something, and there's none of that. That isn't just generic Disney branded merchandise that you could get, you know, on Amazon or something. So that was a little bit disappointing, but it did save us a bit of money at least. So there's some really cool props in there. My personal favourite are like park elements right at the end there. So seeing Peter Pan's flight ride vehicle and Mistletoe's Wild Ride and some of the animatronic figures from throughout the park was really cool. We just had a fantastic time. So we really would recommend coming out here and checking it out. If you've got a ticket, fantastic. I think the tickets are going fast, so if they haven't sold out already, do get on there quick. If you guys have enjoyed the video throughout, give us a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot. And it would be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post cool new videos. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks.